My home security camera caught my therapist breaking in while I was at work. I found my therapist scrolling through my journal in my bedroom when I checked my security app during lunch break yesterday. I'd been seeing her for anxiety treatment for 2 years. Now I know why she always seemed to predict my panic attacks. The first alert came at 11:42 a.m. Motion detected in master bedroom. I almost ignored it, probably just my cat knocking something over again. But when I opened the app, I froze. Dr. Morgan, the woman I trusted with my deepest traumas for 104 sessions, was standing beside my bed, rifling through my nightstand drawer. The woman who'd guided me through my divorce, who knew about my childhood trauma, who held tissues while I sobbed about my miscarriage, was now calmly violating every boundary imaginable. I watched, paralyzed, as she found my journal sat on my bed and began reading it page by page, occasionally taking photos with her phone. My first instinct was to call the police. My second was to confront her. But some deeply broken part of me needed to understand what she was doing first, so I watched. For 17 minutes, she methodically went through my most private thoughts, stopping occasionally to text someone. Then she checked her watch, returned the journal exactly as she'd found it, and straightened my bedspread before leaving. The entire time she wore latex gloves. This wasn't her first visit. I left work immediately, telling my boss I had a family emergency. When I got home, nothing looked disturbed. If I hadn't seen the footage, I would never have known anyone had been there. With shaking hands, I checked the security logs. In the past month alone, she had entered my apartment 4 times, always during my lunch break on Tuesdays right after our Monday sessions. How did she have a key? I never gave one to anyone except Ryan, my ex-husband. She helped my sister through a rough patch, he'd said Ryan, who'd insisted I keep seeing her even when I mentioned switching therapists. Trust the process, he'd urged. She knows what she's doing. I called my lawyer, sent her the footage, then drove straight to the police station. The detective looked skeptical until I showed him the video. "You're sure this is your therapist?" he asked. "The same woman who prescribed my anxiety medication yesterday," I confirmed. What happened next was a blur, filing reports. A detective mentioning something about criminal conspiracy and illegal surveillance. They arrested her that evening at her office and her desk. They found a notebook with detailed notes about me, not clinical observations but intimate details. What time I showered, which friends I clustered most, the password to my laptop that I'd never shared with anyone. The last page had a list of triggers that reliably caused my anxiety attacks, things she'd been deliberately introducing into our sessions to keep me dependent on her care. Ryan was arrested the following morning. Their text messages revealed everything. He'd hired her to monitor me, to ensure I wasn't dating anyone new, to track whether I was considering moving away with our shared custody daughter, just to keep her unstable enough to question herself. He'd texted her 3 months ago. "We need to establish a pattern before the custody hearing." The custody hearing I didn't even know was coming. Yesterday, I changed my locks, my phone number, and my therapist. Today, I am changing my custody agreement. My real therapist says healing from betrayal takes time. She's probably right. But for the first time in 2 years, I didn't have a panic attack when my phone rang.